Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining once again. I would like a special session, the innovation pitching session of the WSA Young Innovators. The WSA Young Innovators honors and recognizes digital innovators under the age of 26 years. I'm very happy to introduce the wonderful Rebecca Atoline from Switzerland, who is from the Immigrants representative of the Zürich Council. I wish all the pitchers best of luck. Rebecca, over to you.
Thank you so much, Manuela. And thank you so much for the invitation to host this session. It's such an honor. The youth hold a great part in my heart. And I'm totally honored to be able to host this session. Before we start up this session, I just want to read a quote that I dug up from the website, from the very first award. That was in 2003. I dig this quote from Mr. Adama Semaseku, president of the WSIS Preparatory Committee of that year. So here's the quote. The World Summit Award gives expression in a very concrete way to the hopes of the people to use the IS technologies for something good. It is also the most important means to allow the cultural identities of all nations to be communicated in the summit process. The WIS makes a clear statement that richness and diversity can be developed and that all in the South and North can benefit from each other when contexts are exchanged in an open manner. And I just say that whatever we've had today was such an enrichment to all of us who have attended this session, looking at how all the innovators we've had through this time have been talking about the technology gaps and all the innovations that they've been presenting and how it has all enriched us and given us, opened us up for the innovations that we have in future. I don't know how to put it, but I'm just so impressed. So without speaking so much, I just want to say this. Our next award winners have just created technology that have leveraging and adapting technology to respond to their very local context. We just have to look at them and appreciate them in their local context. We just have to see how they're using accessible technology, whether it's AI, augmented reality, deep learning to solve community projects. Like we have said, it's context relevant. I want to welcome the winners of this session: Arbor, NatalCares, ConnectHear, FutureLaby, and DocTracker. Welcome you all, and yeah, for the audience, if we could just give them an applause by clicking on like sign or heart sign and show them here. We're quite proud of you, all of you. Arbor, I was a jury in the section that I chose the winners, and I'm just so proud of you. What NatalCare, as a mother, I'm very proud of you. ConnectHear, and all of you. It's just wonderful innovations here. It's something that I never thought. If I just think about FutureLaby, it's just wow. Thank you so much. I see all the likes that you're sending them. We're so proud of you, and I would like to see you share your screen, Arbor, if you're ready, and I will be ready to go.
All right. Can you see this all right?
Yeah, we're good.
Perfect. I am so incredibly lucky enough to be able to visit this lake in northern Alberta, Canada. Beautiful, right? Every year since I was young, I would spend weeks of the summer up there. It's where I learned to swim. Unfortunately, about 7 years ago, we started getting what's called cyanobacteria, or blue-green algae. Blue-green algae, caused by the increased temperature in water due to climate change, is toxic for the skin, so we were no longer able to go in the water. Did you know that companies are responsible for 70% of global emissions relating to climate change? Or that $3.7 billion of goods that may have been produced by child labor were imported into Canada in 2019, a number only increasing over time? Now you may ask me, Danny, why is that? Because we as consumers let them. But nowadays, shopping sustainably is far too difficult. It's expensive, it's inconvenient, and the data is largely unavailable. But What if we could generate momentum, generate a movement, generate change so that I can and so that you can support every single company that won't affect what you hold close to your heart? The Arbor Shopping Assistant allows you to easily do this. All you have to do is download it to your browser, customize it to your own personal values, and Arbor will keep you informed and provide you with sustainable alternatives. I'll give a quick demo I recorded this morning. So after Googling something, you can see the immediate scores on the left-hand side of every entry. When you click on a site, you'll be presented with a dropdown in the top right-hand corner that shows how well the website in question aligns with your values, different alternatives that align more with your values, as well as more in-depth information on that company.
Daniel.
Yes?
We need the video.
You need to switch for different views. One of the views shows the video down below.
Down below.
Technical.
I don't see that. I think that's tech team.
Put the video on. Oh.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. The most common question we're asked is, where do you get your data from and how do I know it's reliable? We combine multiple accurate and trustworthy data sources such as ESG, the UN SDGs, company news segments, company certifications, and more. So let's talk numbers. Since we've released the extension, we've had over 1,000 installs, 10,000 uses, and over 1,000 redirects per month. How do we make money, you ask? We generate revenue when we redirect a customer to a more sustainable alternative. We generate an average of 7 cents per click, and if they purchase something, we actually get an average of 7.5% of that sale. So far, we have raised $780,000, which will go into salaries, user acquisition, as well as into other expenses. Arbor is projected to have 35,000 monthly active users, 2 million company redirections, and monthly revenue of $20,000 by the end of 2021. Since January 1st, we've grown 53% month over month. Our main competitor in this space is Honey. They were acquired for $4 billion by PayPal, not because of the around $100 million ARR, but because they know how and where people shop. Arbor knows how, where, and most importantly, why people shop. Our diverse team has so many different values, and Arbor allows us to bring those values into the physical world. I'm grateful for where we've been, and with all we have in the works, I'm even more excited for where we're going. You can download Arbor today at www.yourarbor.com. Any questions from the jury?
Thank you so much. That caught me unawares. Thank you so much. We have Yatin here. Yatin, thank you. Over to you, please.
Yeah, so I have used both Honey and Arbor. I used it in my system. I tried to check what is happening. So first, maybe I don't see the competition because Honey generally people use it for the coupon codes, and people may use Arbor to build the behavior who is more focused on the sustainable buying. My question is that once I know that there are practitioner companies, okay, and
I'm sorry, you cut out for a second there.
Yeah, so all the companies who are doing sustainable practices, once I know about it, I might not use Arbor to go there, right? I will go randomly there. So then it will not give you the revenue eventually. So you are getting revenue only for the first time when I'm clicking there, going to the platform. Is it so that anybody whom you redirect to the platform, it will be a permanent referral from your side to those platforms? Because I'm really concerned about me as a user going to the site and then again going directly rather than going through your platform. How are you going to deal with it? That's the question.
No, that's a great question. So first of all, we make revenue up to 60 days after the click. Sorry, I'm getting an echo from somewhere. We make revenue up to 60 days after the click. So for example, if you were to redirect to Tentree and you didn't buy anything for 60 days, we would make revenue on that 60th day where you bought something. The second thing we are implementing is a product feed. And so this will take in products from all these different sustainable alternatives so that you can join our marketplace and just shop off of this marketplace instead of, going and looking at one alternative and then clicking on another one. So that's our plan for keeping users in our sort of ecosystem.
Question for them.
Thank you, Arbor. Do we have any other jury with a question? Yatin, do you have another question?
Yeah. So I just wanted to know that when the companies who are doing good practices in line to the segment you're talking about, which is ESG, what if they are not giving the information online? It is there on their reports, in their PDFs, maybe not on the public domain. How are you trying to capture it, or you are not capturing it? You are asking them to come online. How are you planning to do that? How are you planning to motivate them to come to the platform so the ranking and the percentage they can increase?
That's another great question. So we are taking in different data sources. The first one you mentioned is ESG. We have around 143,000 companies just off that ESG alone, because it takes in all this public filing as well as different news sources. So it scrapes 30,000 news sources per day and adjusts the scores accordingly. Then another thing we're taking in is company certification. So things like Blue Sign, things like 1% for the Planet, B Corp. These are mainly private companies, but we can take these certifications and display it to the user in a simple way.
Thank you, Arbor. I just have one question that I would like to clarify. How are you attracting the users? This you talked about. You just explained how you attract the companies, but how do you attract the users so that your organization, your platform may be more attractive?
So this is through different marketing techniques. One thing we're doing is we're doing a referral technique. So let's say, Rebecca, if you wanted to refer a friend, we would plant a tree for each friend you refer. Another thing we're doing is offering incentives, monetary incentives to the customer as well. So we're saying, hey, if you shop at this company instead of this company, we'll give you a coupon for 20% off.
Okay. Thank you, Daniel. I have a hand up there. Odetta, the floor is yours.
Hello, if I still may. I want to borrow a question from yesterday, one juror who was really accurately asking about the social impact and what is the measure of social impact for you? What is the key measure? How do you measure your company's social impact?
Mm-hmm. That's a great question. So our main KPI is, or key performance indicator for those who don't know, is redirections from one company to another company where it aligns better. And so on our platform, we actually have a % alignment score. For the sake of this conversation, let's say Nike to me is a 65% alignment. If I move over to Tentree, which let's say is an 88% alignment, then we can measure that different impact through those the difference in those alignment scores.
And that's considering that the other company is kind of more green and more sustainable.
So you log into our platform and you actually get to put in your own values, right? And so Arbor doesn't get to say, you know, this company is better or this company is better. It's all about your personal values. So we have 22 different values on our system right now. If you are concerned about emissions, you can put emissions in. If you're concerned about water usage, you can put water usage in. But then it's across environment, social, and governance as well. So if you're concerned about diversity or human rights or labor rights, or you're concerned about the transparency of the company or how they do their forensic accounting, you can put all these different values in and it comes up with a weighted score, which is the alignment score that you see at the top.
Okay, thank you so much, Daniel. I have to cut you short right now. Yeah, thank you so much. Without wasting time, I'll just call NatalCare. Please, the stage is yours whenever you're ready. ConnectHear, please stand by. While we wait for NatalCare to prepare their screen and share with us their screen, I'd just like to say something about the product and about how they use NatalCare. We're waiting for you.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes, I want to share my screen now.
Okay, good.
Okay. Okay, I think I'm good.
There we go. Stage is yours.
Should I start now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So good day, everyone. My name is Uche Kenneth Ujekwe. I'm the CEO.
Please share your
really?
screen, NatalCare.
Oh, God. Hey. Okay.
Do you need a minute?
Please, just a moment. Yes, please,
good.
just a minute, please. Yeah. Share screen. Is it shared now?
Yes, and you can from the beginning.
Yeah,
the
from the
very
beginning.
first one on the left. Yes. Good.
Okay, so is it okay now?
Yes, we're good.
Okay, so I can start now, right?
Right.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Probably
So
a few more seconds until we see it perfectly, and then I think you can start.
So can you see it perfectly now?
Yes, can you please start the screen? Start the share? Start your presentation, please.
Okay. Hello, everyone. So my name is Uche Kenneth Udekwe. I'm the CEO and founder of NatalCares. So 4 years ago, I lost my sister-in-law at childbirth due to complications caused as a result of the lack of access to basic healthcare information and the unhealthy child delivery practices by the caregivers in the local community she was staying at the time. And then it was a huge one for me then. And so I started digging and I discovered from UNICEF that Nigeria is now the second largest contributor to maternal and infant mortality in the world. And then 85% of this mortality occurs in rural communities because of 3 major reasons. The first is because of the lack of public healthcare information. The second, because of the unhealthy child delivery practices. And the third, because of the inefficient healthcare system. And then I started NatalCares, a social enterprise that leverages on the power of mobile technology, low-cost innovations to combat maternal and infant mortality by offering life-saving healthcare information and medical supply services designed to assist local women in underserved communities in Nigeria to tackle pregnancy, child delivery, and early motherhood complications. And we have developed awesome products and services. So to bridge the healthcare information gap, by harnessing the power of mobile technology, we render life-saving healthcare information to these pregnant women on symptoms of prenatal conditions, to pregnant women and nursing mothers on their basic.
Your slides, they're not going. The presentation is not seeable.
Oh God Almighty! So what do I do?
And don't worry, we will not
Please,
reduce that from your
can you
time.
just give me a second?
Yeah, we'll give you the time. Don't worry.
Maybe if the technicians can hold the countdown or start then again.
Okay, so this is what I'm doing. I'm actually sorry. I don't know if the fault is from me. I'm using a phone. I'm using a phone to talk, and then I'm using a laptop to project. I don't know if is that a problem.
I suggest that you click on. Could you just click on slide number 3, please?
No, actually, you just need to click on the button where you went with a cursor at the top right, left corner, but you didn't click. You see?
No, I think his laptop is frozen.
Okay.
Okay, so should I? Okay. Okay. Wait. Let me. Okay. So please, can I just get suggestions? I really don't know what to do right now.
Okay. I'm asking the. Could you please share your slides quickly to the technicians and they'll play it for you? Maybe this would help you. Send an email with the slides very quickly.
Oh.
In the meantime. In the meantime, ConnectHear, if you're ready.
Hi, yeah. I can go ahead.
ConnectHear, are you ready?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Sure. Let me know when to start. Okay. So I'll share my screen and then go ahead. Let me know if you can see my screen.
We're good. Hi, ConnectHear. We just had a session and I didn't introduce you, but it's nice to have you here. And whenever you're ready, we are ready. I just do not know how do you say hello in sign language?
It's either this or this.
Again, please slow so we can see it. Oh.
Like this or like this.
Okay, like this or like this. Okay, whenever you're ready, we're ready.
Okay, sounds good. So I'll get started.
Okay.
So this is Azima and I, and both of us have been friends for almost a decade at this point. And it was almost actually a decade ago when I met deaf people for the first time in my life. And those were in the form of Azima's parents. And we often talked about how she grew up seeing the daily challenges that deaf people like her parents face on a daily basis in Pakistan. And it was a problem that was never coming to a solution or to a halt. And then looking into it, we realized that 5% of the global population faces some sort of hearing impairment. Just based on that, we know that there are millions in our country that are marginalized on a daily basis. And to further exacerbate that problem, we found out that there's only one interpreter for every 300,000 hearing impaired people, which is why Azima and I started ConnectHear, where we focus on deaf inclusion and sign language literacy across Pakistan. And we do that through 4 main ways, which also happen to be our revenue streams. Number one is something that we pioneered in Pakistan, known as virtual interpretation, that allows anyone across the nation to get instant access to an interpreter through the click of a button. We then also first used platforms like WhatsApp and Skype, but then we actually relied on our own custom video interpretation platform. And right now it's in the beta phase where we've already had 300 users using it on a daily basis. And we're actually very excited to be launching it in the coming weeks. We also provide on-site interpretation. And before the pandemic, this was a great way for companies and organizations to make their events, public spaces, HR onboarding, and all of that more inclusive for the deaf people. We also are Pakistan's biggest sign language content producers, and we work with companies like Unilever, National News Media, as well as the US Consulate General here in Pakistan. We also realize that providing interpretation services to deaf individuals is only part of the solution. And the other half of the equation is to ensure that hearing people can play their part in making Pakistan inclusive, which is why we started offering training classes across the nation. And after COVID struck, we swiftly worked on creating an online version of it, so now people can learn this language at the comfort of their home. These are a few numbers. We've provided more than 100,000 minutes of sign language interpretation. We've produced more than 600 videos that have been viewed more than 3 million times, trained 700 students across Pakistan, and also generated more than 10 million Pakistani rupees in revenue and funds in just the last year. We also conducted Pakistan's first ever deaf inclusive concert. We also worked with GeoNews and did live general election interpretation that was watched by tens of thousands across the nation. Our team is a diverse team of 12 full-time employees and 20 independent contractors, where half of them are deaf and 70% of all of our employees are women. So we not only advocate for inclusion, we also walk the talk. This is just an overview of our clientele, and our current goal is to continue our deployment in banks and hospitals of our application and ensure that we continue our lead in being Pakistan's largest sign language content creators. Our future goals is to expand into the rest of South Asia and ensure accessibility for millions more. And we also want to leverage the power of AI to allow for automated sign language recognition. Thank you so much for taking your time to hear me out, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Wow. Wow, thank you so much, FutureLaby, and thank you so much for being ready on call. It just made us so proud here. Thank you so much for stepping up. We had a little technology glitch. Yeah, I do not see you.
Let me check if I can fix that.
Share your video, please, so I can see you, because I'll ask you shortly to show us how to say hello before we open up for jury for questions. JK is going to be ready. Also, that's Yatin is going to be ready. So, just as you're here, we're asking you, show us all how to say hello.
So hello is either like this, or because we live in Pakistan and like the most common way is to say salam, we often go like this.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll learn that. I hope I will be able to speak to someone though. So over to you, Yatin, and after Yatin, it's you, Odeta.
So I know a little bit about the sign language as well because of my cousin. But it's good thing that you guys are doing. I'm just curious to see that how are you seeing projecting your company on a larger way? Are you planning to make a specially able friendly world that in every event that should be interpreter? Are you going into that route or no? You are going a different route and whoever is asking, you are trying to give them the client. And second, I want to understand about your profit margins as well. And third, if you can give me some numbers that how many events and how many activities that you have delivered to, how many people you have reached to, if you can throw some numbers on the impact side as well. Quick 3 questions. Over to you.
Sure. So basically starting off with what you asked about how we're approaching this problem. So we're actually focusing on both the ends. Number one, we're creating the examples ourselves as well. Like I mentioned about conducting Pakistan's first ever deaf inclusive concert. And then we leverage those opportunities and we take that to companies and show them how something like this is possible. Because when we started off, the biggest problem we faced was the fact that people couldn't perceive what inclusion for deaf individuals oftentimes meant. So which is why we're still, we constantly go to companies and show them how it's possible rather than them coming to us, even though there are a few that have showed interest, but oftentimes it's us that are helping them chart that path towards inclusion. And in terms of the events, we actually do events on a very regular basis. Right now, we have ongoing projects with 4 different corporations, and we're in talks with a huge financial institution here in Pakistan to implement sign language inclusion and the ability to cater to deaf customers on their customer service end as well as their retail front. So we're kind of really excited about all of these opportunities and avenues that have kind of opened up, and companies are now kind of realizing why it's important to include a whole group of millions of people that was often marginalized and never thought about. So I hope that answers the question.
If you can quickly throw some numbers.
Of course.
What?
Sure. So we basically train right now more than 700 individuals, some of them in sign language. Some of them were actually employees at different companies where they had deaf employees come on board with them, and now they can actually communicate with them. And we've also had individuals who had friends or family members who were deaf or hearing impaired, and they've also learned sign language. We've provided more than 100,000 minutes of sign language interpretation across varying events, and we've also kind of helped nearly 25,000 deaf individuals in terms of, giving them the independence that they need in their lives through our interpretation services. So a lot of that means that some of them have now had the ability to go to banks, to go to doctors, and to go to all of these different institutions and organizations that they were not often welcome at.
Okay, thank you so much. I just want to call FutureLaby. FutureLaby, please get ready. You'll be next. You'll be next, and before that, we have a question from Odeta, and we have.
If I still have time for that question, but amazing product, and clearly the impact is immense that you've already done. But you mentioned that you're planning to expand to other countries. So I'm just wondering how many sign languages are there in the world? Because I know that it's not. I mean, it would seem that it could be one, but it's not. And how are you planning to tackle that issue?
That's actually a very wonderful question. So right now, when we started off, we were also kind of we found trouble in the sense of that there were regional differences in sign language all across Pakistan. But now we've built that infrastructure that's in place, and our contractor model actually helps us to leverage these international expansion moves that we are planning. So in terms of how we would expand, we already have a scalable application, and then we would sign up contractors in different areas and different regions and different countries and have them come on board to our platform, where then we can offer the service to other deaf people in other countries that way.
Thank you. I hope your question is answered, Odeta. I have a jury hand up here. Please speak. I do not see your name. Please speak if you hear me. Agang.
We cannot hear you.
We cannot hear you.
We cannot hear you.
maybe type it in the chat. We can answer that.
So we have a small technical problem here. Jury, while you get ready with your questions, we will get ready for FutureLaby. FutureLaby, if you're up, we are ready for you. It's I'll just introduce you a little quick. It's one project that really excited me to see how you're using augmented reality to. Once you're ready, once you share your screen, you let me know. But
yeah, I'm ready. Hello.
But please share your screen, and I'll be ready.
Yeah.
So I'm just very excited about this particular project because of how you improving access to education.
Yeah.
And I like how you,
Yeah. Thank you. Should I start?
Over to you. Over to you.
Yeah. Thank you. Hello. Can you see the slides?
We see the slides,
yes,
but we don't see
your
your camera. If you also could turn on your camera, that would be cool.
Actually, I don't know if the internet connection is suitable for that.
Not a problem. Then just continue with the slides.
Yeah, thank you. Hello, I'm Hassan Dayoub, and I'm representing FutureLaby. During the last 10 years, e-learning has grown incrementally because of its benefits and advancement in technology. And after the COVID-19 crisis, it became the main player and an efficient education style for many disciplines. But for some disciplines, it's not the same. Med and dentistry students and students in similar fields weren't able to move completely and efficiently into the e-learning style because of their need for labs and equipment. From the middle of nowhere, a place with no electricity for more than half of the day and no proper internet connection from Syria, there are students who share the same problems and more. So our team decided to give it a shot and develop a solution for this problem and see how far we can reach. With more than 20 dentistry schools in Syria and more than 200 in MENA region, we decided to start with dentistry. Operative Dentistry Lab is our first virtual lab at FutureLaby platform, where we have built an augmented reality app that simulates 16 experiments to help dentistry students learn how to drill a tooth in an accurate way from anywhere and just using their mobile phone. This virtual lab helps us to decrease the required time to see the experiment from 15 minutes to less than 3 minutes, and with explanatory system, you will not miss anything. Also, we ended up increasing the final grade for lab users by 5% on average and increased the minimum grade by a factor of 2 and higher. Our lab users and early adopters find it really helpful and so recommended because it's worth the try and will spare them a lot of time, efforts, and most important, acrylic teeth costs. We are looking to reach universities to be our customers with the business-to-business marketing model and to have an annual subscription for each lab, and that will help us complete our work and build more labs. During the last years, we were able to be recognized by and supported by many initiatives and organizations locally and globally. Also, we are supported by our community of heroes, students and experts by volunteering with us as a part of the content creator team and educational content quality assurance. This is me and my partner Tahir Hassan, the two guru behind this incredible project. And to complete our journey, we are looking to expand our community and have more partnership with universities. So, thank you.
Thank you so much. And I see Odetta, you're ready with a question.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you for the presentation. I have a lot of friends who are dentists, and I've been around and they were, studying dentistry. So I know that it requires a lot of practice on real teeth, if you wish, in addition to the theory. So what part of the studies would you say, what's the kind of percentage or part of the studies that your project covers? Like still people, dentists need to learn anatomy. They still need to do the actual practice on the teeth. So have like, if you were already part of a program of a dentistry course, like what's just percentage, that you can cover?
And maybe you can turn on your camera, Hassan, for answering. People would love to see you.
Okay. Give me. Okay. Can you see me now?
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, after we studied the curriculum for dentistry discipline, we found that there are, let's say, more than 20 a subject that we can develop using or maybe simulate using the similar technologies. Actually, we are not using our application. You will not be able to practice dentistry. So you will have to use the real tools to be able to complete what we are trying to teach you. But the difference is, the size of, for example, the size of the tooth is really small. So when you want to learn about something like that, it will be not an easy thing to understand everything related it from just showing it in the real size. So using our virtual lab, you will be able to see bigger size of this tooth, and also we will be able to interact with it and to see each step that you want to learn about in matter of drilling this teeth. So we can say that we are helping students to understand the process more than to practice on it, because we know the practice is really important and we respect that.
Thank you so much. I have a question for you, but before I ask you the question, there's a jury with a hand up. Please ask your question.
Yeah, I would like to know how many people did you impact already in Syria, like in terms of students, how many did access to your application already and used your service?
Thank you. At any moment, we will reach 1,000 students until now. So because this lab is covering one subject, so each year we have 300. Actually, we have 3,000 students who will be able to use our lab each year. So. But we are aiming to develop another lab soon. So we'll be able to double this number, maybe each 4 months, I think.
Okay, thank you. I might just have to ask you about the cost of this lab, but whether it's not very expensive. But before we do that, we have two questions. One from Pilar, and then Yatin. Pilar, you next.
Hello. Nice to hear from you. I am also familiar with AR. I'm sorry, it seems to be a bit dark here, but I was wanting to ask who is making your content, and how do you are sure that the content that you are creating is really valid for dentistry care and for the students?
Yeah. Actually, we have a content team. They are 3 professors, PhD holders, as in industry PhD holders, and this they are. Their experience is related with the content that we worked with.
Thank you. Do you still have you there?
Oh, the video jammed.
The video jammed. So let's go over to Yatin. Yatin, over to you. And before you come on, Natal Lab, are you there? NatalCare. NatalCare, if
Yeah,
you're there,
NatalCare.
you're coming up next,
Yeah.
and I would love you to stand by. But over to you, Yatin, for the next question.
Yeah, my
NatalCare
question is
is
more,
here.
yeah, my question is more financial, I guess. To content creation, you need a lot of technical expert and also technology expert, which takes a lot of time to build the content as well, which is a cost on the front end. And then what are your charge? What is the revenue amount that you charge from the university? I would love to understand the unit economics, whether it is making sense, because I've seen a lot of ventures trying to do something into edtech world, but they are not able to sustain. So I'm just trying to understand from your part. If you can share that, would be great.
Actually, I was offline for about 1 minute, so please, can you repeat or something?
Yeah, quick question about the cost.
Yeah.
The content, to make the content, and then what is your revenue amount that you're charging from the university? If you can give some context, what's your profitability?
There was a voice. Can you write it maybe via message, or I don't know why I wasn't able to hear. I think it's about the cost.
It's, if I may repeat, it's about the cost, the financing. Yeah. What are you? How are you financing it? How are you financing it from the universities? And Yatin, is that right?
Yeah.
How are you sharing the budgets? How you finance? Yeah.
Yeah, actually, we have a partnership with one of the biggest dentistry school in Syria. So they cover 19% of the development costs. Yeah.
Okay, 90% of the development costs. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Does anybody else have a question? Otherwise, we'll go to our next. We wish you really lots of luck with it, and I hope many of us can participate, because dentistry and dental diseases is something that affects all of us, as long as we still have some teeth in our mouth. And we can be proud when we less than 27 that we still have some teeth.
Great.
But yeah, it's something that's happening to all of us, and I'm glad you're doing this, especially during this COVID time, that the university students cannot use the library and the laboratories.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
So yeah, I do wish for, and I really hope that you can get the financing, and that many of us can participate as well.
Yeah.
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 All the best.
Thank you. Thanks.
Okay, Jury, over to you, and over to NatalCare. All the best this time.
Okay, thank you so much for your support. So I'd like to just switch off my video because of the internet, if you don't mind. Okay. So, hello, can you hear me?
We hear you loud and clear.
Okay, thank you. So my name is Uche Kenneth Udekwe. I am the CEO and founder of NatalCares. Next slide, please. So 4 years ago, I lost my sister-in-law at childbirth due to complications of pregnancy and delivery. Next slide. And then the major reason was because of the lack of access to basic healthcare information. Next slide, please. And then second was because of the unhealthy child delivery practices by caregivers in the unserved community where she was living. And then next slide, please. Okay, so when I started digging, I discovered that Nigeria is the second largest contributor to maternal and infant mortality in the whole world. And then there were 3 major reasons for this. Sorry, the slide is not moving.
Yeah. Is this from the technical people that the slides are not showing? It's only showing the front slide.
Oh, God.
Who is sharing the screen?
Take it easy and breathe. It's just technical difficulties. Don't worry.
Okay.
You have your time here. Huh?
Okay.
No. The PowerPoint is working. I don't know why you're not seeing it.
Okay, while you try to sort out that PowerPoint, just let me know once you're ready. But we can quickly. I just want to make a comment here. Did we realize that all these innovations were triggered by something that happened to a family member.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just, obviously you're not presenting, I'm just having a discussion here. If somebody can, Diogo, if you can just put in, we're waiting for that slide. And are we ready?
No, I'm really sorry that this is not working, but I will make it now available to for the technicians. For me, the slides on my screen, it shows me that it's working.
Okay.
1 second.
Okay. We're waiting. We have the time. And since this is an African presentation, and I'm also African, even if I'm Swiss, I'll just allow myself to make the African joke. Again, allow me to make this African joke. We have time in Africa. And I do remember from your presentation and from the presentation of the very first session, how you guys said, you know, the digital divide and digital penetration. And I'm particularly loving this session, this NatalCare session, because it's kind of proving everything that we talked about in the very first session about technology, about the difficulties that people have. And here we are on the stage. I mean, the slide, this is the irony of it. The slides have been presented to Austria, which is supposed to be to have very good internet, but we are still having glitches. So, yeah, what do you think? Hi, gang.
It's the same everywhere, right?
It's the same everywhere. Yeah. So we can see here how technology might really exclude some people. It's something that you discussed in your presentation as well on Monday morning. Do you remember that? Agang, are you there?
I think somebody asked Agang not to turn on his microphone because of the noise that it creates. So.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Exactly.
Thank you. Diogo, where are you from?
Yeah, I'm from Portugal, and Rebecca, just bringing the thing that you were saying about impact local and about stories that kind of creates the projects itself. I think that's it. It's basically what you said, that the impact local is super important. And now, for example, we can see that some of the projects in here in the Young Innovators start from personal stories that they want to hack a general problem and try to solve something in the society. And I think that's super important. And that's why we are all in here trying to make this happening and try to give support to the future entrepreneurs. So, but let's see if the PDF will be working.
Yeah, let's see. Okay. Okay, we're ready with the PowerPoint. So there we go. Kenneth, I wish you all the best again.
Okay. So I've not seen the PowerPoint.
NatalCare, please start from zero if you can. From the very beginning if you can.
Okay, no problem. So I'll just say next slide so that you can. Yes, I see it. So I'll just say next slide so you can move it to the next slide. Is that okay too? Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. So I'll start, and I hope I won't have any problems this time. Okay, so everyone, thank you for your patience. My name is Uche Kenneth Udekwe. I'm the CEO and founder of NatalCares. Next slide, please. So 4 years ago, I lost my sister-in-law at childbirth due to complications caused as a result of the lack of access to basic healthcare information and unhealthy child delivery practice by the caregivers in the local community where she was living. It was very, very hard for me. Next slide. It was a very hard problem for me. So I started digging. Next slide, please. And then I discovered from the UNICEF that Nigeria is now the second largest contributor to maternal and infant mortality in the whole world. This is really huge. And then 85% of this death occurs in rural communities because of three major reasons: the lack of public healthcare information, the unhealthy child delivery practices, and the inefficient healthcare system. Next slide. And then I set up NatalCares, a social enterprise that leverages on the power of mobile technology, machine learning, and low-cost innovation to combat maternal and infant mortality by offering life-saving healthcare information and medical supply services designed to assist local women in underserved communities in Nigeria to tackle pregnancy, child delivery, and early motherhood complications. Next slide, please. And so we have developed innovative products and services. Now, to bridge the healthcare information gap, by harnessing the power of mobile technology, we render life-saving healthcare information on symptoms of prenatal condition to pregnant women on their basic mobile phones. This message accompanies them throughout their pregnancy journey. And for those of them who cannot read, we give them this message in voice note in 6 major indigenous languages in Nigeria. And then when it's time for them to deliver their baby, we have developed a comprehensive delivery kit. It contains 16 essential supplies needed at childbirth to ensure safe and hygienic delivery. The mobile application contains a connect to doctor feature for immediate referral and an immunization tracker. Next slide. Now, to ensure sustainability, we have, next slide, please. So far, we have 4,720 delivery kits sold, and it has helped to ensure safe birth in at least 16 rural communities. Then 3,802 pregnant women and nursing mothers are currently subscribed on our mobile platform. Next slide. To ensure sustainability and profitability, we have developed an effective business model. We retail our delivery kits for profit, and then we offer a monthly subscription fee charge for our message service delivery. And we also make money by offering text and voice message advertisement from mother and baby care company who wants to uniquely reach out their target. Next slide. So what makes us really different from others out there? No, what makes us different? What makes us different from others out there is the fact that what people do is they develop an app and then they expect these local mothers to go to the app and then see the solution, which is the real problem. When you want to solve a problem such as maternal and infant mortality, you have to understand that these people live in rural communities. Not all of them have access to basic phone. Please, before this slide, please. So what we have done differently is that we have assessed the basic of all technology and innovation to reach out to these women. We use mobile technology, low-cost innovation in terms of kit, and then mobile application, and then voice service, and then a flexible savings scheme to ensure that pregnant women, no matter the locality that you live, no matter the language you speak, and no matter your social status, NatalCares got you covered. And then to scale up us,
thank you so much. Your time is up, and I'm giving over to the first jury member. Thank you so much. The first jury member, Diogo.
Yeah, first, I don't know if it is possible to recover the presentation, maybe not, since we have the difficulties, but if you could share some data, how many people did you impact, because it's really a criteria for the jury here. We would like to understand, or in total or each product, because I understood that you have the services, the kits, and then you have the app. So it's 3 different data. So I don't know if you prefer to say it in total or each product and explain it.
Yeah, so far we have, okay, so that's slide 6. So far we've been able to sell 4,720 delivery kits, and it has helped us to ensure safe birth in at least 16 rural communities here in Nigeria. We have 3,802 pregnant women that are actively subscribed on our mobile platform.
Diogo, are you satisfied with the question? Does anybody else, do you have another question? Or Pilar is here. Over to you, please.
Hello, again about the funding. Can you tell me a little bit more about the funding of your project?
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. So we have developed an ingenious model. The women we're trying to reach are in the rural community, the low-income women. Many of them are not really rich. So what we have done, each kit costs 2,500 Naira. That's around $7. Now, what we've done is that we've created a model. We call it the flexible service scheme. Each of these women, we divided that money into 9 months, because logically, a pregnant woman just have 9 months to carry a baby. So we divided that money into 9 months. So, and it gives us around 125 Naira, which is not even up to $1. So these women just have to contribute about less than $1 within a period of 9 months. And with that, it was able, it's now become very convenient for them before the 9th month to have enough money to be able to purchase. In fact, we've recorded so much success in this line that many of the women tell us that they want to contribute more than, so that even after delivery, they can have enough money to do other things. So that's the way we have made it so easy and convenient for our local women to be able to purchase.
Thank you. I have to cut you down. Thank you. I think we understood you there. Odetta, over to you. And this might be our last jury question, unless there's someone with a very pressing question.
Thank you very much for your patience and a great product that you're doing and saving, babies' lives and mothers' lives. I just wanted to know, where do you get the information that you send to the pregnant women? So do you have like a doctor community who is helping you with all the content that is delivered? And also in terms of your kits.
Okay.
So
hello,
do you have like a local supply? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. So for the messages, so among the team, we have 2 doctors, a nurse, and 3 midwives. So the information that we give to these women are verified from these reputable doctors and nurses and midwives. And then for our kits, we have 16 of them, and all of them, I don't know if there's a time I could list all of these supplies for you here, and they are all locally sourced to ensure that they are available any day, anytime for these women.
Okay,
thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much. I hope your question is answered. Yeah, and for those who are wondering that they're operating those mobile phones, I think from all the technical glitch that we had, it was able to explain, to show us really why this is needed. And just who still has that phone sitting in their house? I might have to take mine to Africa or send it to you.
Exactly. Yeah.